You are listening to the No Gimmicks, Just Sweat podcast with your host, Eric Logan. No Gimmicks, Just Sweat is dedicated to hearing the journeys and unique stories behind an athlete's training and what drives them. Get inspired to own your life and make the impossible possible. If you enjoy the show, please subscribe so that you never miss an episode. Also, please take a few seconds to rate the show and drop me a review. Now, let's get started with the show.
Hello and welcome to this episode of No Gimmicks, Just Sweat, where we welcome back the urban adventurer herself from episode 21, Lani Woods. Lani, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, it's been a while.
It has. What episode are we on?
Oh, this will probably be in the 80s. So it'll be like 80, 81, something like that.
Oh, yeah. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. But I'm still here. I'm still recording episodes. See?
I see. Congrats. I love it.
Well, I will start by saying it was great seeing you at One Love a couple of months ago.
Oh, yeah. I was so surprised to see you there.
Why?
And you're black with endurance.
Oh, okay. And see, I was representing you. I was representing you. He was like, yes, somebody's wearing it. Yes. So I want to take time to catch up with you. Normally we do icebreakers where I ask the question, but we're going to switch it up, starting this season. So we're switching up to 2 truths and a lie.
Okay.
So I want you to tell me 2 truths and a lie. I'm going to guess which is the lie, but don't tell me the correct answer to the end of the show. We'll leave everybody in suspense.
I'm going to be in suspense too. Okay. 2 truths and a lie.
Yes.
Let's see. I have a 3-legged dog. I rode my bike from San Francisco to Los Angeles. I have 3 kids.
Okay, let me see. Which one's a lie? I will probably say the 3-legged dog. Don't tell me that. Don't even make a face. We'll keep it to the end. But I'm gonna pick the 3-legged dog.
Okay.
Even though I do, even though you do have a lot of pets. You're an animal lover. But yeah, I can see you embracing that 3-legged dog if you had one. Okay. We'll wait till the end of the show. We'll find out. Okay. So last time we spoke on the podcast, we were talking about American Ninja Warrior, Spartan, and in the years since then, you've been a cyclist more than anything else. So why have you gotten more into cycling nowadays?
Oh my God, that's so crazy. Okay, now I remember the episode. I remember I told you so many things I wanted to do. And right. It's crazy because I got to do all of them in some sort of way, like a little bit, a teeny tiny bit of it. But I did find I fell in love with cycling, and there's so many different disciplines in cycling. So these past couple of years, I've been trying all the different disciplines of cycling and really finding, my niche and, where I fit or where I thrive more or less. So for me, I can see more on the bike. I can go further on the bike. There is a lot more I can do, and it's less strenuous on my body, even though it sounds more strenuous. Like when people hear things like 200 miles, they're like, oh my God, that's a lot. But compared to running it, it's easier, and I can do that and still walk the next day. So that's a big factor of why I stay on the bike.
Okay. So I've noticed not only do you ride outside, which you do a lot, you've also done indoor cycling. And that's something I've been very curious about, but I've never gotten the courage up to try it. And we do have a track here in Georgia. So kind of go into that. Explain that. What attracted you to that, and
You
what's
gotta
been your
try it.
experience?
So, I mean, if you know me, like I'm attracted to things like obstacle course racing, Ninja Warrior, climbing really high ropes. I'm an adrenaline junkie. So when I first saw the velodrome, it reminded me of obviously like track and field and running. Like
Okay.
I've always been fast.
Right.
A sprinter more or less. And so when I saw the indoor track, the velodrome, I was like excited because I'm like, oh my God, that looks so cool. And the people were going so fast. Like, and then it's got this embankment, so it looks kind of scary. And like my first time ever trying it, I was scared. I was like shaking. I was so scared. But again, there was the adrenaline of it. So I was like, oh, this is dope. So I love it because for some people it's scary and intimidating. To me, it feels safer than being outside. Outside, I'm worried about variables like cars,
Yeah. Okay.
potholes, hitting other
Right.
people's wheels because they hit their brakes and stuff. On the velodrome, you're on a fixed gear bike. Nobody has brakes. So,
Wait,
you just,
there are no brakes on those bikes?
there's no brakes. You don't
I
have
never knew
brakes.
that. I knew they were fixed gear, but I did not know they did not have brakes.
You can't stop. You can slow down and you have to maneuver, and then everyone's going the same way, so it's
Right.
a little, to me, it's less variables to worry about, so I can just zone in and just worry about, I'm just focused on going fast, and
Okay.
I like that. Like, it's
Okay.
exciting.
Oh, again, I did not know they did not have brakes. Like I said, I've seen those bikes, but I've never like just really examined them. And I said, okay, they're fixies. But I was like, you just not told me that they didn't have any brakes. I'm like, wow. So that's not making me a little more encouraged to
It's
try.
not more comfortable. It is something you should have to try. It's like once
Okay.
you try it and you like pull that band-aid off, you're gonna be like, oh, this wasn't that bad. And
Right.
I think especially the track in Georgia, that's an outdoor track, and I don't think the embankment is as steep, so it's a little
Okay.
safer. So I think,
Okay.
if I come back to Georgia, I'm gonna make you get on the track.
Okay. Okay. If you come with me, I will go. I will go. I will come and go. So how's that experience? Because there's that embankment where it kind of turns to the side.
hmm
So so is it eh, what's the experience of riding once you like starting out? Like, how do you start out and get going with that?
Like how do you get into track cycling, or
Well,
what do you
well,
mean?
well, we can talk about that in a moment. But just getting out on the bike, just starting the bike, and then maintaining that rhythm and that speed as the embankment kind of goes, because it looks like you're kind of going to the side.
It takes it's well, not really. You're just going straight. It looks like it. It's like
Yeah.
almost an illusion. Like
Okay.
you're still going straight, and then while you're moving, your momentum is gonna keep you upright. Like on the
Okay.
track in Georgia, you could practically stop on that track and not fall.
Oh. Okay.
And out here, the one it's steeper and it's wood. It's indoor. You could go like maybe 5 miles an hour and not fall. But the thing is, you just got to keep the speed going. You have to just keep going. You have to keep pedaling. And the higher you go up on the track, the more resistance you have. And
Okay.
so you use the track to your advantage. When you go from go up the track to the top, and then when you come down, that actually gives you the momentum and speed of going around the track. So it's like
Okay.
there's techniques to it, but it's not as scary as it looks.
Okay. So, well, how did you get into it? And did you have to have someone kind of really kind of walk you through, show you how to do it, or you just, I'm Lonnie, I'm the adventurer, I'm just going to get a bike and go?
Yeah, no, actually, I was doing a bike build for Christmas, and it was at the track, and that's when I first saw the track. And then there was a class. You have to be certified to be on the track, so you have to take a certification
Oh,
class to learn how to ride on the track and show that you are able to be a safe rider on the track before you can get in the game.
oh, okay. That's something else I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone has to take like a little class. So
Okay.
at some tracks, I think it's simpler, but here it's a 3-day course you have to take,
Oh,
and you get a certificate and everything. I was so proud when I got mine. I was like, yeah.
So do they have like races? I mean, is it a sport?
Oh yes.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a sport. It was in the Olympics, or it's in the Olympics.
Right.
So yeah, they have different types of racing. So they have endurance events. Please excuse the background noise.
Completely understand.
They have endurance events, which are mass start races, where you got like 8 people, up to 20 people racing on the track at a time against each other.
Okay.
They have different types of racing, which a scratch race is like the simplest of races. It's however many laps there is, and the first person over the finish line wins. Simple. Then they have like an elimination race, which it's like the last person over the finish line each lap is out. Then they have races where, certain laps, like bell laps, they'll ring the bell, and then the first person over the finish line gets a certain amount of points. And then there's track sprint, which is a whole different sport and a whole different body type and different rules. And it usually involves like a one person against another person, which is like match sprint. And those guys are bigger. They're more like bodybuilders on bikes, and they go hard. They're more explosive, and they do less laps. And then you have team sprint, and there's a whole lot of different races on this little track that looks so simple, but makes it really, complicated. But I think, we actually had some women, when in the Olympics they won the team pursuit, which is an endurance event. So yeah, it's a thing.
So which one is your favorite?
I'm a mix, because I like the scratch race. I like the simple, first person to cross the finish line wins. And I like time trial sprints or whatever. So I like the it's called the Flying 200, which is like a sprint. It's simple. You get up to speed and you go with full gas for 200 meters.
Okay. So, and I was gonna say, how big is the track now? That's another question. One lap is like how long, or does it vary by track?
It varies at tracks. Ours is 250.
Okay.
I think. Oh wait, I have that wrong. I think ours is 300.
Okay. Let's add some more to it.
I'm all bad. I can't tell you that information. I don't know. I'm the worst. I just ride my bike.
You just get on and ride and zone out and have fun.
Yeah, they just show me where the finish line is. That's all I need to know, and I'm gonna go get it.
Do you have it? Do you have any goals that you want to achieve? On the indoor track?
I actually don't right now. It's a really expensive sport. Like, it's an awkward sport. So I have kind of put most of my goals on the road, because it's easier access for me to ride on the road than it is to go to the track. Okay.
So I'm safely assuming that you can't just like, hey, I'm finna go ride on the track today and go. You have to kind of maybe have a membership and pay dues or something.
You have to have a membership, and then there's track time. So here we share the track with the national team, so they have a lot of the track time. And then there's other programming going on at the track that has time. So trying to, fit your schedule around the track schedule, depending on what your schedule is like, can be a little complicated.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So let's move from indoor to outdoor. This is why I can relate with you. I'm outdoor rider. You're outdoor rider. We're both outdoor riders. So what got you into riding outdoors?
Originally, 2020, I had 3 knee surgeries and was suggested to ride a bike to help build my quad strength, and
Okay.
that's when I started riding a bike, and I realized how fun it was, and so it just grew from there. Then I wanted to buy a new bike, and so I went from having like a huffy bike from like a garage sale to a single speed bike. Then I realized like old white men were passing me every time I was riding the bike, and I'm like, why are they going so fast? Why am I so slow? Like I'm giving my all, and I'm not going anywhere. And then I realized I had the wrong bike and had to get a road bike.
Right.
And then just have kept upgrading from there.
All right. So what was your first road bike?
My first road bike was a Specialized Roubaix.
Okay, that's a good bike. All right. So, and what's your current bike? She's like, wait a minute. Okay.
My current road bike, I still have the Roubaix.
Okay.
I don't ride it anymore, but I also have a Canyon Air Road.
Okay.
That's my aero bike, and I also have a team bike, which is Cannondale Super 6 Evo.
Okay.
So I have some pretty, cool bikes to ride.
Look, don't feel bad. I have a gravel bike that just sits there and like, I'm so neglected and lonely. You get on the road bike and your duathlon bike more than you get on me. So I have to show it some love every now and then.
I had the same thing. I had a gravel bike and it just sat there, and I would get on it like once a year, and then I gave it away because like it's not worth taking up the space.
So, which is your favorite? Do you have a favorite bike?
They all are favorites for a different reason. The Air Road is my favorite. That's my baby. Because it's mine. I picked out the color, and it's fast. It's
fast.
Pure speed.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not super fast going uphill, but going downhill, it goes really, really fast.
Goes really, really. What was it? What was the movie? Oh, good. I cannot. Will Ferrell.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah, Talladega Nights.
That's one of my favorite all-time movies. I love it.
Really?
Yes.
I go fast.
Either your first or your last.
All right. So here's the all important question: do you name your bikes?
Yes.
What are your bike names?
All right. My Specialized it's like green, like a really bright green. So its name is Martian Manhunter.
Okay. Justice League, DC Comics. Okay.
Yes. My gravel bike that I no longer have, it was gray, so I had named it Stormbreaker.
Okay. Thor. Yep.
My Canyon Air Road is red and purple, and her name is Medusa. Not from the Medusa with the snakes, but from the DC character.
Okay.
And then my other ones are a little bit, not so comic bookish. So my track bike is named Major Taylor, which it's not technically my track bike, but that's the name of the bike, Major Taylor. Okay. And if you don't know who Major Taylor is, you gotta, do some homework.
If I was at home, I could reach back. I have his book on my shelf, so I could reach back and go. Yep.
Oh, that's dope. Well, that's who started all of this.
Yes.
And then we got the Cannondale is gray, so its name is Smoke.
Okay. Yeah, don't feel bad. We all think of themes. All my bike themes are based upon Japanese, either manga or something sci-fi. So
what are your bike names?
So my gravel bike was silver and red, like Ultraman. So I called it Hayato. So that was Ultraman's alter identity. My duathlon bike is Big O, which is a giant robot. and the robots are from an anime, and the robots come in three. So it's Big O. My Canyon is my everyday riding bike. That's Big Duo. That's the second robot in the series. So if I just happen to get another bike, the third bike will be called Big Foul.
I think that you have to get another bike just because of that, like to complete the collection.
There you go. See, you understand the logic. See, we're here. You understand that. I have to complete the trilogy, the set. To have all three.
Exactly. I'm all for that.
All right. So, how is it like riding on the West Coast? It looks. I have some friends out there that they'll send me pictures, and they're like, "Oh yeah, look, I rode here, and I was around Big Sur, and I was like, okay, that looks so gorgeous." They're like, "Yeah, it is."
It is gorgeous. Well, we have one of the best places in the world to ride, so it's really hard to go other places and be wowed. Like Georgia is beautiful.
Really?
I loved it riding there.
Okay.
Because what I see here is so normal. Like I'm like I go for a ride every day and I see the freaking Pacific Ocean. I'm like, so I mean, we have great weather all year round, and yeah, it's just beautiful. We're spoiled over here. Definitely.
Yeah. We're freezing or it's raining in the middle of January, and they're like, "Yeah, I'm out riding my bike. I went for a bike ride today. Oh, it was just 60 degrees." I'm like, "Really? It's 70 degrees." I'm like, "Really? Rub it in." So, what's the longest bike ride you've done?
That's an interesting question.
Okay. It's like there's a story there. It sounds like there's a story there.
Lots of stories. So this year alone, I did 700 miles around Wisconsin.
Wow! You said 700, right?
700.
That was 700.
Yes, 700 miles in 6 days. We did it.
Wow. Okay.
So we did it to raise money for a camp called Hometown Heroes for fallen families of veterans. The families of fallen veterans. And so that's probably the longest I've done, or the most miles I've done.
Okay.
But that was over 6 days. The most miles I've done in one day is 220 miles.
And how long did that take you? For the entire day?
That took the whole day. I think I was like 16 hours, maybe.
Okay.
Like with stops and all that stuff. It was a long day. It was supposed to be 200 miles, and they had to reroute it, and they tacked on an extra 20 miles, and that was like the worst.
But you're telling me that, and thinking in California, the ocean and everything, I'm like, okay, I could probably do that with that type of scenery around there. So that probably makes it easy.
Okay, LA, California, and there's the coast, and there's other parts of California too. So this ride was not by the coast; it was in the middle of nowhere, California. Like it wasn't pretty. Like there was like weeds and grassland. And it was pretty in its own way,
right?
But it wasn't like looking at the coast. It's not the same.
It wasn't picturesque.
Yeah, it wasn't picturesque. It was a sufferfest in every aspect. Then, like more recently, what we just did this past weekend is a relay race from Los Angeles to Las Vegas. So it's from the Santa Monica sign to the Las Vegas sign, but they threw in a loop. Like it's not just a straight shot, because from LA to Vegas is 300 miles. That's kind of easy. Sounds easy. But they put 5 checkpoints that you had to go to that were way out of the way. So we ended up doing over 600 miles in 43 hours, without sleeping. Well, barely sleeping.
Barely
And
sleeping.
in a
Okay.
relay race. So we took turns, but again, this was the hardest thing I have ever done because we didn't get the checkpoints until the night before, so we couldn't make a route. And then when we did make a route, like within an hour, that route was out the window. There were road closures. There were like dead ends that we didn't know about. So it
Right.
was just like a whole lot of figuring it out. We had got our van, our SAG van, stuck in the sand on the side of the road, which was my fault because I was like trying to help out and drive and falling asleep behind the wheel, and then pulled over into the sand and got stuck. It was terrible. It was so terrible. But that was the most mentally, I don't know, challenging thing I have ever done, and I suggest everyone do it.
Okay, I'll take your word for that one. Let's see. So, is there anything on the bike that you haven't done yet that you want to do?
There are lots of things. There's a big thing that's on my list of things I want to do, and I'm in a weird cross of giving up on this and doing something different, and doing it. So I probably need some support from the community to push me towards completing this, because this has been something I've wanted to do since I started cycling, and it's called the Race Across America.
Okay. Yes, I've heard of that.
It's 3,000 miles, over 3,000 miles. It's a relay race as well. So it's something that it's on my bucket list.
Okay.
But it's really there's so many moving parts that go into it. It's not just getting on your bike and riding. You actually, you have to pay. You have to have the SAG support. You have to have a crew. It's a lot of days away from your family. It's hard.
Right.
You have to pick the right riders to be on that team that can sustain that type of, mental and physical, endurance there. That it takes to do that without, giving up or without getting injured. And if those things happen, you have to be able to pivot. So it's a huge goal.
You can do it. I have faith in you. You can do it. You got this. You got it. All right. So I want to talk about the riding community. What's the riding community like over in the West Coast? And especially with blacks and other minorities. And here in Georgia, we have our pockets. But most times when I'm out riding, I'm like, okay, it's just me. So, what is it like on the West Coast?
I will say it is. Well, the cycling community is thriving, and it's really big over here. You wouldn't notice it like just by riding down the street, but right. There's like a lot of different clubs. There are a lot of. It's actually very diverse. It's more diverse than a lot of other sports that I've been a part of, like obstacle course racing,
right?
But not as diverse as running,
right?
Right. So I mean, we have a nice big. I would say it's not big, but we have a nice size, black cycling community here, and we have a lot of Hispanics and Asians. The whites are still the majority, so that's like everywhere. But I think here we have more of the whole melting pot. It's not like some places where it's just white and you see a couple black people, or like I think even in some places it's got really rich black culture. I think Philly was a place that I saw a lot of black people.
Yes.
But yeah, it's I don't know. It's it's different here. Like we have a lot of people, but they don't fuck with each other. Like you have certain that do, and then you have people that don't talk to each other for no reason at all, really. And I've been really big on trying to get people to collaborate. Like
Right.
getting more clubs to work with other clubs and stuff like that. So here we have Major Taylor is the dominant black club here, and that's the club that kind of took me under their wing and got me right. So yeah, I love them, and yeah. But then we have other little clubs sprouting out, and the club that I'm a part of, KRT we have a chapter here in LA, but we predominantly are doing racing right now. So
Okay.
I don't know. Did I answer the question?
I believe you did. Yes. Let me think about it. Yeah, I think you did. And I noticed that, whenever I ride, there's some groups that are like, hey, yeah, come join in. And there's some that are like, they'll look and see what type of bike you have and like, yes, you're not on the same quality as us. So it sounds like you have little bit pockets of that there as well, too.
Yes, when I first got in, I thought it was like it's super elitist. It is. It's super elitist. But I understand now, like there are different levels. Like one of my first things I did, I got invited to do a century ride when I had only been riding for like a month, maybe. And
okay.
I knew I could ride 100 miles. I knew I could do it because I know me. But I couldn't do it at the speed that they were going. And I was so mad at them for dropping me. I was like, oh my God, they are the devil. They dropped me. Like, who drops new riders? I was complaining to everybody. But I mean, the thing was, I just wasn't as strong as they were. And they have this group of people that they ride with on a regular basis. And they have a time that they leave and a time they're trying to get back to get on with their day. And, they have other groups that are more beginner friendly, and those are the groups I should have been trying to go to. But no, I'm jumping into the details. As soon as I get somewhere, I'm here. Like I don't care. Like I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm Lani Woods. I'm doing it. I'm going here to the A group. Just sign me up. Have you ever rode a bike before? No. Just
just put me on. Just sign me up. I got this. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I am?
I'm gonna go and I'm gonna bust my ass and I'm gonna get up and do it again.
But as they say, did you die?
Nope.
Well, you didn't die.
Yep.
All right. So we know this stage we're doing bikes. Is there anything else that you're looking to do? Like, okay, I'm tired of the bikes. I want something new now. There's that one little thing that's in the back of your head or back of your mind that you like, I still want to do. What is that?
You know what? The ninja thing does come back up.
Okay.
I did the Ninja Warrior thing. I said I wanted to do adventure racing. On the last episode that I did, I said I wanted to do the world's toughest race. So
yes.
I did an adventure race with Team Onyx. It was a 24-hour adventure race, and that shit was hard as fuck. And then I realized, that might not be my jam. And went more into the ultra cycling thing, and I kind of like it here in the crit racing. But I love my muscles. I miss my muscles. I do like sometimes still wonder, like, if I went back on tried it for Ninja Warrior, like how would I do? And then I was casted for American Gladiator earlier this year.
Okay.
And so that's where I was going to bring it back. But when it came time to train, I was not motivated to do the training to get back in that type of fitness. I just wanted to ride my bike. And I was having a very successful race season on the bike. So I kind of decided to let go of those dreams and to go, forward full-fledged with the bike thing and see where it takes me,
Okay. Believe me, I understand that feeling like, yeah, I can go to the gym. I need to do this, but it's so beautiful outside. I want to just ride my bike. Yeah. That's exercise. Yeah, I'm going to ride my bike. I'm working out.
Yes. I mean, it's beautiful. It's therapeutic, and it's hard. It can be hard. Like, people think you're just riding your bike and it's fun. But once you get into these races and climbing and all this stuff.
Yes. But like you were saying, it is therapeutic. I do a weekly ride, and that is my solitude time. That's when I can reflect, just think about stuff, refocus, just let things out, so yeah, being on a bike does have its advantages, especially if you can ride. Again, here in Georgia, on Sundays, it's generally nobody on the road, so you can just really get out and just ride.
Oh yeah.
All right, Lani, it's been great catching up with you, but now we have to go figure out, was I right or was I wrong? So okay. I chose the three-legged dog. Am I right or wrong?
You are wrong. I do have a three-legged dog.
See, now I'm looking. I'm trying to think. Does she have? I'm trying to think back to your post. Okay.
I'm like, yeah. So I have a three-legged dog. He got hit by a car earlier this year, and his leg was amputated.
Oh.
And he is thriving. He is the most resilient creature ever, and he reminds me daily of just remembering the joy, and things can be harder, and what it's like to overcome hardships. And so people look at him and they say oh, poor thing, he has 3 legs, but he never thinks about having 3 legs. He still runs fast as he did when he had 4. Don't pay him no mind. He don't care. But so what the other one was, I said I rode from San Francisco to Los Angeles, which I did. That's 500 miles. And I said, I have 3 kids. I do not have 3 kids. I
knew you had kids. And I was like, does she have 3?
I have 2 kids.
Okay.
So that was kind of, I don't know. I couldn't think of anything else to say.
But that was perfect. You played it perfectly. That was perfect. All right, Lani, it was great catching up with you, and we got to definitely do this again.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thank you for having me on. It was great seeing you. Great catching up. So I look forward to this next season.
Yes. Next season. Thank you. But see, one of the things, I will be in San Diego probably in February for work-related stuff. So who knows? I may catch up with you out there on the West Coast. Y'all have good weather, so I can get out and ride my bike.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Bring your bike. I will come down. I will come to San Diego any day. And they have really great bike paths, bike trails, and bike lanes down there. So
see, now you tip me. I was like, I might not bring my bike, but I may run a bike and just get around.
Yeah, if not, you can always go to the Canyon store in Carlsbad, which is near San Diego, or call them up or email them, and you could probably get a demo bike to ride.
Oh, good to know. Okay, see, this is where that connection goes. See? All right, Lani, again, thank you. I appreciate you being on the show again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. You too.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the No Gimmicks, Just Sweat podcast. We really appreciate everyone who tunes in each week. If you enjoyed today's show, please support us by subscribing, rating, and reviewing the show wherever you listen to podcasts. And remember to tell your friends about the No Gimmicks, Just Sweat podcast, so we can continue to have awesome conversations with everyday athletes just like you. Until next time, have an amazing week.